In episode 27 of the Decluttering Club podcast, we're going to talk all about the 1 year anniversary of our core membership.
You are listening to the Decluttering Club podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Mueller, and it's my mission to equip women to declutter their homes, their time, and their lives so that they can cherish what truly matters.
So it has been almost 1 year since we started this experiment. This was literally like just an idea that popped into my head last year around about this time. And we took this from idea, from like nothing planned, nothing prepped, nothing created, from idea all the way to having to welcoming in our first members in 4 days. 4 days, people. It was kind of crazy. And so the way it worked out was I had this idea back in November of 2022, and I thought, what if we offered people a way to step into decluttering in a way that was a little bit more manageable, right? So we have our OMH Complete membership, right? We've been running that for years and years, and that is amazing. And people get so much success, right? We have calls going on in there. We have this huge training library, and it's a smashing success. But we kept hearing from people who were like, that sounds great, but either I don't have the time or I'm not quite ready to go all in on my decluttering. And do you have anything else for me? And so I thought, what if we try something? What if we offer just one call a month and a community? What if we helped people to go all in on one topic per month with one training, just attend one call, and then they would have the freedom and the space to just focus in on that one topic and decluttering their home, one area at a time. And like, would people go for that? And turns out that they 100% do. They absolutely do. And so now looking back 1 year later, we have thousands and thousands of members in this core membership that didn't even exist at the time of, like right now when I'm recording this was not even an idea in my head last year. And here we are thousands of members later. So I want to tell you a little bit about what happens when people join the core membership, just so you can kind of get a feel for what is possible when you're just doing kind of one thing at a time. And I'm such a big fan of this, you guys. I'm such a big fan of this. We're going to be talking about this in an upcoming core training. But the idea, there's an old Chinese proverb, I believe, that says, chase two rabbits and catch none. Have you heard that one? If you're trying to chase two rabbits, like you can't do it. You're not going to catch any of them. And so this really reminds us to stop multitasking and to stop going in 100 directions. Not a good thing, even for all of you multi-passionate, people who love to do all the things. You will get further. You will have more satisfaction and fulfillment in your life if you can focus on one thing at a time. Okay. And now this doesn't mean that you never do more than one thing, but your focus is on one thing at a time. And the way that we help you do that inside the core membership is with one topic per month. And we have focused on all kinds of different things. We focused in and we taught people how to do Kitchen Zero, which is the place that we want everyone to start when they join core. And I won't get into it. It doesn't take too long to learn. You can do it in 5 minutes a day. So everybody who tells me they don't have time for Kitchen Zero, I say your list is too long, right? And we have a whole training on that, but we teach you how to do Kitchen Zero. And once you have learned that, again, focus, right? Focus. Once you've learned how Kitchen Zero works, you can do it on autopilot for the rest of your life, right? I'm not saying life doesn't happen. Of course it does. But in general, this is a habit that you will just build into your life. It's not going to be a big deal. And you'll wake up every morning with a clean kitchen. This skill alone will change your life. Like you could be done. You could be like, that's it. I'm good. Like, I can't believe it. This is such a game changer for so many people. Right. So we teach Kitchen Zero. We talked about money. We had a whole month where we're focused on organizing and plugging money leaks. Game changer. You watch that training and you could pay for an entire year of core easily in a couple weeks. Easily. Right. And then we had all these other topics. We talk about ADHD. So we've also talked about decluttering your wardrobe, which is another really big problem area for a lot of people. We focused in on that for an entire month. We talked about hidden clutter and on and on and on. And so again, it may not seem like a lot, but when you stack them up and when you give yourself the patience and the time to focus on one area at a time, you can actually make huge progress. And this is what we have seen happen. So I just want to share with you a couple wins that our members had shared with us so you can kind of see how it works. This one is from Edri, and she said, I joined CORE because after a series of traumas, death of my spouse and my oldest brother, I had barely been functioning and I needed help. Sarah's advice is so wise and compassionate, and everyone is so supportive and understanding. Big win for me is the beginning of progress. So it is a minute baby step. It's not inertia. I see a tiny mess, I can fix it immediately. I put something away, I throw out a piece of trash or something broken, rather than walking past it and saying, I really ought to. For the first time, I think maybe I can do that. Now, sidebar here, recognizing these kinds of initial wins is something that we teach people. We teach you when you join the core membership, and it is critical because if your whole house needs work, you may not feel like you're making any progress until you're close to done. And if that takes a really long time, then you're going to be missing out on celebrating wins. You're going to be missing out on any satisfaction. And if you don't see any satisfaction, it's going to be crazy hard to keep going. Like, who's going to want to do that? You need to have milestones along the way. And so we teach you how to recognize those wins like on day one. You don't have to wait until your whole house is cleaned up and decluttered. You don't have to wait until it's done to start noticing and recognizing those wins. And this makes such a huge difference. So we love that this is happening for Edri, and she's still working on things, and it's okay. Right? It takes time, and that's okay. Okay, next win we have is from Debbie. She said, we had a spare guest room that was just a throw it in their room. Anyone have one of those? I used to have one of those. She says, I wanted it as a guest room. And in one day, yes, one day, I made it happen. My son was coming for the weekend and I had one day to do it. And since then, I've kept it ready for him, my grandchildren, or other guests who stay with us. Now, I am not going to tell you that you can do an entire room in one day, right? I can't promise you that. You might, right? Or you might not. And you don't necessarily have to, but I just kind of want to show you what is possible when you join, when you get the motivation, the support, and the community behind you to work on a goal like this. Exciting things can happen, whether or not you do it in one day. Right. So cool. We love this. Okay. Next one, next win that I have to share with you is from Jennifer. And Jennifer says, throughout this process of decluttering, Sarah Mueller has helped me learn how to let go of mental clutter. This is an unexpected result. I let go of a 20-year grudge. I reached out and found out that she was very happy to hear from me. I even sent her some of our dad's stuff that I had been keeping in a box and not enjoying. She was so happy that she cried when her box arrived. Thank you so much, Sarah. This is an amazingly beautiful thing. And again, this isn't something that we specifically focus on, but 100% it happens because the clutter in your home isn't just affecting, like your spaces, it's affecting your entire life. And when you learn to let go of physical clutter, frequently that just ripples out into other areas of your life, and you're ready to let go of 20-year grudges or expectations or regret that you may have that has come up in your life and that's really holding you back. And what I love about the way that we do this work is that we're not just giving you checklists. We're not just your cheerleader, but we're going to help you address the underlying emotional causes and roadblocks that may be keeping you stuck. And this is a huge part of the work we do, right? The checklists and the training is just the beginning because we're there for the whole picture, the whole package. And so you will notice that this happens in so many areas when you start doing this work with us. I do have one client who swears, she says, this work is better than marriage counseling, cheaper than therapy. We hear this over and over again from people because, again, we are addressing the whole package and not just, the pile of stuff. right? We want to know, why did the pile of stuff get there? What's holding you back? How can we help you? Right? Not just coming in with a bulldozer. Anybody can do that. That's not hard. Right. But what is hard is changing your mindset, is learning to do kitchen zero every day, is learning how to show up for yourself. It's learning to let go of the guilt or the regrets or the judgments. And all of that happens every single day inside a core. And it's so fun when it happens. And we love that. All right. One more win. And this one is from Jolita. And she says, oh, this one really, really tugs at my heartstrings. She says, I wish I had pictures of the disaster my kitchen normally is. It is the dumping ground for everyone's everything. Dumping ground. I've had that too. We are a household of 6 humans and 2 dogs. A clean kitchen and a tidy home are not the norm for me. Right? So many, sidebar, can't help myself. So many of our community, they just haven't had this, right? And it's not like they want their houses to be messy. It's not like they want the clutter, but they don't know what to do, right? And they think this should be easy. I should be able to, but they just don't. All right. And so that's the space that Jolita found herself in. She says, I feel like I shouldn't need classes like this because I already know what to do. I just don't have the time to do it. Right? That is a trap a lot of people fall into. They think I should know what to do. I just don't have the time. Not true. She says, my mom is a master organizer, and I feel so inferior to her because while I grew up in a house that was meticulous, I feel like mine is constantly trying to be figured out. My husband rolls his eyes at me when I tell him everything needs a place. I just need to figure out where that is, and then it will be so easy to maintain. He goes on to say, but 3 houses in, and each time never dedicating time to figure out those things has just led to frustration from everyone. Jolita says, even my kids this year asked that we have 1 day off from constant cleaning and organizing. Please, mom, give us 1 day. And then here's the best part. She says, the whole point of this rant is I wasn't going to do core because I didn't want to pay for something I already know how to do. But I told my accountability buddy, Jessica, I was going to do it because I need accountability and I need someone to encourage me to focus on accomplishing and finishing order in my home. And here we're going to skip to the end. She says, tonight, before I decided to sit down on social media, I told myself not before kitchen zero. I cleaned up from dinner. I did the items on my list. And in 10 minutes, I was done. Sarah is right. Love it when I'm right. It is self-care. She says, I feel accomplished. I feel less stressed out, less dread to wake up in the morning and come to this space. I feel excited. I want to cook. I want to meal prep. I want to enjoy a cup of tea or make my hubby an espresso. When I do the things I need to do, regardless of how I feel about doing them, the end result is always worth it. Amazing. This is what happens, people. And again, you probably, if you haven't done it on your own by now, you probably do need help, right? And that's okay. Guess what? I have all kinds of tips and tricks up my sleeve. We have all kinds of strategies and tools that will help you see things in a different way. And it doesn't matter if you should know or if you think it's about time. I promise you, it is not. It is not about having enough time. It is not about, what you should be doing, right? If that's how you're thinking, you're going in the wrong direction. And we have a much better direction that we have available to you, and we'd love to show it to you. So again, we're celebrating 1 year. Really, really exciting. We can't wait to see what next year brings. We have something new every single month. And those are just some of the things that go on inside the membership. So again, I wanted to give you a sneak peek. We love it in there. My team and I were in there all the time, and our members are just absolutely crushing it. And sometimes we have good days, sometimes we have wins, and sometimes we don't. And sometimes we have hard days. And we're here for all of that. This is not just a place where you can only show up if you have a smile on your face. We have people every single day reaching out for help and for support, and they're having a hard time. They hit the wall. What do? Right? Core is the place where they can come and feel better and get the support. And sometimes that's the most important thing of all. All right. So just wanted to give you a sneak peek into that. If you are already a core member, we love you. Thank you so much for being with us. We would love it if you would tell a friend about core, or maybe post on social media and tag Decluttering Club. tag me so I can see your post. That would be so fun. That would be amazing. And I would really appreciate it. We could get the word out. And if you're not in core, you are welcome to join us. There is a link somewhere along with this video where you can come and sign up, and you too can enjoy all of the beautiful benefits that come along with that. That is what I have for you this week. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next week. That's all we have for you today. If you enjoyed this podcast, would you leave us a review? It would really help us get the word out. To start your decluttering journey, go to thedeclutteringclub.com. That is declutteringclub.com. We'll see you next time.